The Qatar Grand Prix concluded last week successfully, handing over one more victory to the championship leader, Max Verstappen. However, it was a total disaster for the Mercedes team as Hamilton and Russell collided on the opening lap of the main race. The Brackley-based team lost the opportunity to score some valuable points towards their championship standings. McLaren, on the other hand, were able to deliver strong performances during this Grand Prix weekend, which saw them score another double podium. The new trend developing inside the Mercedes garage is not good for their future plans, as it may develop into a similar rivalry to the one Hamilton had with Roberg. In this video, we will investigate the developing rivalry between Hamilton and Russell. Before going deeper into the video, remember to hit the subscribe button and bell icon for more interesting Formula 1 updates. George Russell and Lewis Hamilton positioned their cars in second and third positions of the starting grid, and they turned it into a good start as well. Both drivers started to attack Verstappen from the start and wanted to pass the pole sitter when they reached the first corner. Hamilton tried to go around Russell, but did not leave enough space for Russell. They ended up crashing into each other. Hamilton lost his right rear wheel and ended his race in the gravel. However, Russell was lucky to save his car from any major damage and rejoined the race after spinning off. He immediately made a pit stop to take a new nose and carried out a great recovery drive to finish the race in 4th place. Hamilton took the 100% full responsibility of the incident, and he further assured that their relationship was not broken after the incident. In the heat of the moment, it was frustrating because I felt this tap from the rear but don't think George had anywhere to go, Hamilton said. It was an unfortunate scenario and I am happy to take responsibility because that is my role. I don't feel like it was George's fault. I don't have any problems with George. We have a great relationship and we always talk about things, he added further. This incident was reminiscent of the 2016 season, as everyone can remember how the Mercedes teammates collided in a similar style when there was an intense battle for the title. However, Roberg, who was the teammate of Hamilton at that time, had a very friendly relationship with the Briton since his junior days. But that friendship slowly turned to a rivalry with time, and they started to hate each other when the situation intensified. At the peak point of that rivalry, Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff had to intervene to cool down the situation. Now, F1 pundits hint about a possible development of a similar kind of rivalry between Russell and Hamilton. Currently, Hamilton is in 3rd position of the standings and Russell is in 8th position. However, their points gap is 62 points and a lot more can happen within the remaining rounds of the 2023 season. Hamilton has scored 5 podium finishes compared to Russell's single podium finish. This evidence clearly hints at a slight gap between the performance of Hamilton and Russell. If someone says that Hamilton is more talented than Russell, we have to accept that as a fact, as Hamilton has already proved his talent by being the second driver to win 7 world titles in the history of Formula 1. But everyone knows how talented Russell is, and most of the F1 pundits identify him as someone with the capacity to win multiple championships in the future. Rosberg was not as talented as Hamilton, but the German did his best to defeat Hamilton in the 2016 season using all of his skills. So something similar can be expected from Russell, as he is now maturing as a strong Formula 1 driver. Russell is now 25 years old, and he's slowly reaching the best days of his career. But on the other hand, Hamilton is reaching the latter stage of his F1 career, as he's now 38 years old. Recently, Toto Wolff hinted at a significant improvement of the Mercedes 2024 Challenger, and we can expect more close competition between the two Mercedes teammates if they're able to produce a car that can challenge for the title. This is not the first time these two teammates were in such a tense situation during this season. During this year's race at Suzuka, also, two teammates came close to colliding several times, and finally team orders were given to Russell to let Hamilton pass at the latter stage of the race. Hamilton and Russell collided also during Q2 of qualifying in Spain. This resulted to end the Q3 hopes for Russell, and Hamilton also had to pay the price for this mistake by losing a place in the front row of the starting grid. Talking about the collision after the race, Russell said, "We both had the possibility of standing on the podium. Obviously nothing intentional both ways. These cars are so difficult to see when you are racing. There's big blind spots. We both have so much respect for one another. We will go past this and I'm sure we will speak and everything will be okay," he added further. When the media asked whether they are confident enough to beat Red Bull next season, Mercedes principal Toto Wolff said, "I wouldn't be in this sport if I didn't think it was possible. If you consider how much Aston Martin has grown in the winter and the leap forward McLaren has made in the summer, I think we could find 3 or 4 tenths. We would be in it again. We know that our car has more in it than it has shown so far, but we've not yet figured out how to achieve that. But that makes us optimistic," Wolff said further. If Mercedes engineers were able to tap into the full potential of Mercedes' power unit, as Toto Wolff mentioned, it will create a tense situation between the Mercedes teammates, turning their friendship into a big rivalry. One point that we should focus on here is Russell's recovery drive. Russell joined the back of the grid after colliding with his teammate. George had to pit his car for immediate repair, and he lost a considerable amount of time. But he demonstrated a great recovery drive and finished the race in 4th. Before this collision, both the Mercedes drivers had the possibility of standing on the podium. All this evidence seems to be showing a significant improvement of the performance of the Mercedes. Mercedes needs to stay strong within the remaining few rounds of the 2023 season if they want to save their runner-up position. Their drivers have currently scored a total of 326 points after the race in Qatar, compared to the 298 points scored by Ferrari. Due to a fuel system issue on his SF23, Sainz didn't take part in the race, and Leclerc was the only driver from the Maranello-based team. If both the Mercedes drivers were able to score podiums, or at least points, in this race, it would have been a golden opportunity for them to build a healthy lead on Ferrari in the Constructors' standings. However, after the collision, only one driver from each team was able to see the checkered flag. Leclerc finished the race in 5th, just behind Russell, and it was good enough to improve that lead by 2 points. We can see significant improvements from both teams over the last few Grand Prix, creating a tense battle between two teams. If Mercedes needs to finish the season as runners-up, they need to maintain a good consistency while avoiding errors similar to the collision that happened in Qatar. This collision affected not only the Constructors' standings, but also Hamilton's standings in the Drivers' Championship. Hamilton is 3rd in the standings behind Perez with 194 points, and he needs 30 extra points to steal the runner-up position from Perez. The Mexican is in a huge decline after the summer break, and he's currently at risk of losing his Red Bull seat if he isn't able to finish the season in 2nd place. Perez experienced a triple car collision in the sprint race, which Hamilton finished in 5th, scoring 4 points. Even though Perez was lucky to finish the main race without any devastating incident, his effort was sufficient enough to cross the line in 10th. He also scored 1 point. At the end of the Grand Prix weekend, Hamilton was the winner of that mini battle for the 2nd spot in the standings, as the Briton was able to reduce his point gap with the Mexican by 3 points. If Hamilton wants to finish the season as the runner-up, he needs strong support from his teammate as well as the team. It's not a secret that Hamilton is still the #1 driver of the team. However, we haven't seen direct orders from race engineers prioritising Hamilton like in the Hamilton-Bottas era. In order to assist Hamilton's runner-up campaign, Mercedes may have to go with direct orders, prioritising Hamilton once again. However, such team orders can transform the friendship between Hamilton and Russell to a rivalry. What do you think about the current status of the Hamilton-Russell relationship? Will it turn into a rivalry? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. That's the end of today's video. Subscribe to our channel for more interesting Formula 1 videos.